Today we are going to be learning how simple it is to crochet. I'm going to be taking you through the steps that you can use to make your very own hand warmers. The stitch is simple and easy to follow. It is the double crochet and it gives your hand warmers or any other garments that you use with this stitch a warmth and cushiness that will be so useful for us as the cold weather months come. I'm going to take you through step by step. Hey, I'm Monique, a pediatrician turned homeschool mom and keeper of my home. Here I love to share family, health, home, and sustainability tips that will help to provide us with the skills and know-how that we all need to uplift and equip ourselves. The more we know, the more we will be sustainable. The yarn that I chose is from Lion brand Fisherman's wool. It's 100% pure virgin wool. It's a medium 4 and the recommended hook size is 5 millimeters. It is very soft to the touch and seems to be able to provide much warmth for the finished product. The color I'm using is oatmeal. You will also need some scissors, a tapestry needle, measuring tape or a ruler, and your crochet hook. In this case, I'm using a 5 millimeter hook. In the first step, we need to, of course, build a foundation. This is our foundation chain. But in order to do that, we must always start out with our slip knot. There are many ways that you can form your slip knot. In this one, you simply wrap your yarn over your 2 fingers twice. Bring the back end forward and then bring the next loop over once more over the first one that you brought over. Gently pull up and this is going to leave you with a loop. This loop is adjustable and this is the loop that you're going to insert your crochet hook. After you've done this, you're going to make a foundation chain. Now the foundation chain is based upon the measurements that are specific to you. Since we're making hand warmers, if you'd like to make some for yourself, just measure the distance across your hand, including the thumb, so that you can have an estimate of the length that you're going to need in order to make your chains. I'm using a distance of about 3.5 inches. So we are going to double that and we're going to make our chain to be about 7 inches. You also want to measure the distance from the top to bottom of your hand. This will be the length that the hand warmer will fit along that longest part of the hand. For me, I'm going to go ahead and use also about 7 inches. Make your measurements so that your final product will fit specifically just for you and your measurements, and do the same if you're making it for others. After you've made your foundation chain, you're going to go ahead and start your double crochet. The double crochet is very simple. As you can see, you want to insert the hook through that V shape that you have made in your foundation chain. You're going to yarn over first, insert the hook, bring back the yarn through that loop. Now you're going to have 3 loops on your hook. Then you're going to bring over 1 more loop, and then you'll have 4. For the double crochet, you want to pull through just the very first 2 of the 4 loops that you have made. Once you've done that, you're going to yarn over again to make another loop on your chain, and then pull through again the last 2. That will form the double crochet. And you're going to do this through each of your V foundation chains all through. Once you're at the second row, you're going to be working only through the back loops and not through the full V of your chains, which you can see when you turn your work to the side. we will be only working through the back loops once we have hit that second level. Once you get to the end of your chain, you want to make a turning point, some turning chains. So for this one, I chose to do one chain and then turn. So you'll do one chain and then turn your work, because you always want to be working from right to left. Continue to do this every time you reach the end of your chain. Chain one and turn your work. Chain one and turn your work. Now when you do this, you want to keep a track that you're not going to be doing your double crochet in the very first loop. You want to skip that loop and go into the second chain. This will allow for the maneuverability that you'll need so that there will not be much bunching up in your work, and so that it will lay flat and smooth. You're going to continue to do your double crochets until you reach your desired length. I keep a tape measure with me or a ruler so that I can measure along the way, and you're going to keep on going till you've reached your desired height. My desired height was about 7 inches. Once you've reached your desired height, you're then going to pull your yarn through, making one last chain so that you can tie this off so that your work will not unravel. Now this is the end of the double crochet that you're going to need to do. Next, you will need to go ahead and stitch up the two ends of your work so that you can form essentially a pocket, which will be your hand warmer or your glove. So you're going to need a tapestry needle in order to do this, making sure that the eye of your chosen needle is wide enough to accommodate the yarn that you have chosen. In my case, I'm actually using 2 strands of yarn in order to make it a little bit thicker. So because of this, I am using a larger eyed needle. Then, once you have threaded through your needle, you're going to simply go back and forth through each side until you have sealed up each portion of the hand warmer. I like to tie off the ends with a small knot that you can barely see so that it will keep the work secure. You can also thread through any of the tails that are left over also if you would like. At this point, you have made a classic hand warmer. But if you'd like to go one more step ahead and make it to be a little bit more updated and having a little more of a feminine touch, you can go ahead and do the next steps, which I will show you. In the next steps, you are still going to be using your double crochet pattern, but this time you're going to group your stitches into one area at a time, and you're going to do it in multiples of 5 or whichever multiple that you would like in order to make your scalloping fuller. I have chosen to do about 5 in each of the chosen spots. When you do this, this will give you the appearance of a frill or scalloped edge. And you'll just continue to do this all around, and then once you've reached back around, you're going to join your two ends with your slip stitch. And this is just simply inserting the hook through, pulling it back out, gathering a piece of yarn through, and pulling it through your final loop. Then tying it off so that the work will not unravel. And then you're at the end of your project. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you and that you will be inspired to make your very own hand warmers as the cool winter season comes upon us. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below and let us know how you did on your project. As always, stay well and do your best to be sustainable.